Hi guys, welcome to our last week of English 1A. I'm so sad that this is actually coming to a close because I really love teaching at Delta and I think that this class is a lot of fun. I know you had to do a lot over just a short amount of time, but you should be proud of yourself for accomplishing so much. I wanted to just kind of remind you of our last few things. This is a short week. Our class ends on Friday, so I have to have everything in by Friday. So hopefully I made it a simple enough week for you. Our only assignments this week are to participate in one discussion area, just one, and to finalize your term paper. So let's look at those real fast. Under our discussion area, here it comes. Under taking a stand, I have one that's called class review. And I appreciate your honesty and your candor here. Tell me what you thought of the class. Tell me if you think anything should be done differently. As you know, this is my first time teaching during the summer session, so I've never had to condense so much in such a short time. I'm used to teaching this and a little bit more in 12 weeks, and we had, what, 5 or 6? So it was very fast. So tell me what you thought. Tell me, again, suggestions. Post that there. Same thing, first response due by Wednesday. But you don't have until Sunday. You only have until Friday to earn your participation points because, again, class ends on Friday. Your last assignment is that term paper. So let's go back to the instructions. Hopefully you got some good feedback in the peer review discussion area, which I'll be grading soon. But I want to remind you of what we're doing in this term paper just to make sure. Number one, I was a little worried by some of the outlines because some of them sounded informative. For example, you can't just tell us about the Holocaust. You have to take a stance on war or the Holocaust. That could be arguing that the Holocaust did in fact happen because, as you know, unfortunately a lot of people say that it never occurred, which drives me nuts. So you could take a stance on that. You could take a stance on war in general. You could take a stance on war crimes. You could do a lot with using night as one of your sources because you have to use one of our sources in your paper. So I think all of you did that. There might have been one or two that forgot that in the outline and annotated bibliography, but you have to make sure one of the short stories from our textbook or one of our course novels is integrated into your paper. So if you're writing about mental health and depression and saying that your stance could be people need to be more aware of the signs of suicide, you could definitely use Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar as one of your sources. Again, you cannot just write an informative paper that tells us what is mental health? What is depression? That's not taking a stance. So you have to be persuasive. You have to convince readers of something. That is a big part of the rubric, which is right here worth 15 points is the stance that you take, so some kind of argument. But you also have to be convincing, so it's another 15 points. So right there, that's 30 points just on you convincing us of a side. So very important that you do that. So if your paper sounds more informative after writing your draft last week, make sure you kind of tweak it over the next few days to make it really convincing and to get readers to agree with you. Again, maybe your paper is on racism because, oh my gosh, there's so much of that going on right now. And I saw that a lot of you are focusing on racism and segregation. Don't just say racism was bad. Well, convince us why it is bad. Convince us why we should not judge other people and use the sources like Brent Staples' piece or Night or, gosh, we read a lot of things that deal with segregation. Use one of those sources and then use outside research as well to help prove your side. You are graded on MLA format, so I need to see in-text citations as well as that works cited list. You do need to have professional language, so written in the third person, avoiding slang terms, and of course your grammar should be accurate. The final paper should be 1,000 words minimum, but I don't want to see 2,000 or 3,000 words because that's going a little bit overboard. All right, so hopefully you understand this final assignment. Again, make sure you go over the requirements if you have any questions. I don't have the assignment box open yet. I was gonna wait till Wednesday, but I might go ahead and just open it now. So if you do get done in advance, you can go ahead and submit early. However, once it's submitted, that's it. You can only submit this term paper one time. So please don't submit until you are ready for a grade, because if I see it in there, I might go ahead and grade it early. All right, so let me know if you have any last minute questions. If you need help, let me know. You can always send me a text message or an email. Thanks, guys.